She paid the single dad, then whispered what she really wanted. Marcus had not slept more than 4 hours in 3 days. His daughter, Lily, was 7 years old and running a fever that kept breaking and coming, back like a stubborn tide. And the medical bills from last month had already eaten through what little savings he had tucked away in the old coffee tin above the refrigerator. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? He worked 2 jobs, a morning shift at a hardware store and an evening shift, delivering packages, but the gap between what he earned and what life demanded never seemed to close. That particular Tuesday morning, he had taken a small side job through a neighborhood app, fixing a broken fence gate for a woman named Eleanor who lived in the older, quieter part of town where the houses had wide porches and oak, trees older than anyone living inside them. He loaded his tools into the back of his truck, kissed Lily's warm forehead, left her with their neighbor Mrs. Patel, and drove over, hoping the job would take no more than 2 hours. Eleanor answered the door before he even knocked. She was a woman somewhere in her late 60s, silver-haired and sharp-eyed, wearing a garden apron over a linen blouse. And she looked at him, the way perceptive people do, like she was reading something beneath the surface of his tired face. She walked him around to the side yard and showed him the gate, which had come loose from its post after a bad storm. Marcus assessed it quickly, laid out his tools and got to work. Eleanor brought him water without being asked. She did not hover or make small talk, but twice he caught her watching him from the kitchen window, and there was something in her expression that was not nosiness. It was closer to recognition. He finished the job in just under 90 minutes. The gate hung straight and true, the latch clicking cleanly into place. Eleanor came outside, inspected it, and nodded with the quiet satisfaction of someone who appreciates craftsmanship. She reached into her apron pocket and pulled out an envelope, handing it to him with both hands. Marcus opened it and immediately looked up. "Ma'am, this is 3 times what we agreed on," he said. And he meant to say it firmly, but his voice came out softer than intended because the number on those bills meant Lily's medication refilled, and the electricity staying on, and maybe, just maybe, one less night of ceiling staring. Eleanor waved her hand gently. The gate needed work, and so did the post beside it. "You fixed both without me asking. That's worth more than the number we agreed on." He thanked her, gathered his tools, and turned toward the truck. He was almost at the gate, the very gate he had just repaired, when he heard her voice behind him, quieter now, meant only for him. He turned around. Eleanor had stepped closer, and she looked at him steadily, without any awkwardness or performance, and she said, "I raised 2 boys alone after my husband left. I know what that face looks like. I know what it costs to hold everything together when no one is watching. You are doing a good thing for your daughter every single day, even on the days it feels like you are failing. Don't you dare stop believing that." Marcus stood very still. He was a man who had learned to keep his emotions packed, down tight because there was no time, and no space for them to spill out. But something in her words moved through that careful packing like water through sand, and he felt his throat tighten in a way he had not allowed in a long time. He nodded once, because words were temporarily unavailable to him. He drove home. And when Mrs. Patel let him in, and he walked to Lily's room and found her sleeping peacefully, fever finally broken, cheeks soft and cool, he sat on the edge of her bed and let out a breath he felt, like he had been holding for months. Eleanor had paid him for a gate, but what she had whispered, that was something no amount of money could have bought. And he carried it with him from that day forward like a light he could reach for in the dark. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories for more heartwarming and inspiring stories just like this one, because the world needs more kindness, and so do you.